When making a payment to the IRS, do you have a right to designate where that money goes? I'm here to answer that question and more. My name's Darren T. Mish. They call me the IRS Solution Attorney. And let's just think about for a moment why that's an important question. A lot of times you might have some periods that are getting close to the statute of limitations, which is generally 10 years from the date of the assessment, and you might not want to pay that, or you might want to try and outlast the statute of limitations. There's some other reasons that I don't really have time to get into here, where you might want to pay one period of tax over the other. And so let's answer the question. Again, it sort of depends upon the situation. If you're making what's called a purely voluntary payment, then you have an absolute right to designate where that money should go. And how do you do that? Well, let me back up for a second. What's a voluntary payment? What does that mean? A voluntary payment means a payment that you're truly making voluntarily. It's not an installment agreement payment. It's not a levied payment. It's not an offer and compromise payment. It's a payment that you have just decided out of the goodness of your heart that you're going to go ahead and write a check to the IRS. Then you have an absolute right to designate where you want that money to go. Now, how do you do that? Well, if you're using IRS Direct Pay, which I recommend, you're going to go ahead and Google IRS Direct Pay, and you're going to go to the IRS's payment portal, and it gives you the right to designate which period you want that tax money to go to, and I think that that's a good idea. If you're going to write a check, what I want you to do is in the memo line of the check, I want you to write your social security number and then semicolon 1040 and then semicolon the period that you want it to go to so that you can designate where it goes. The best practice is to go ahead and send a cover letter with that payment in addition to the check. And then of course keep copies of both. That would be the very best practice. So the answer is, if it's purely a voluntary payment, you do have the right to designate the payment. If it's an installment agreement, unfortunately, you don't have that right. I'm Darren T. Mish. They call me, again, the IRS Solution Attorney. We'd like you to visit our website if you have questions about this or really anything else related to IRS tax problems at getirshelp.com.